In this video with MedKing, I'm going to show you how to use MedKing AI. So you click the top left bar and you click MedKing AI. You can click the arrow and then you click chat. So let me request for a new chat. So I'll click the top right, new chat. So let me ask it explain cardiac cycle. So it thinks, then it answers me almost immediately. So see the way it answers and highlights some key things in cardiac cycle. Then it also gives me a table, a very nice and beautiful table that I can use to study and learn. Then you can see in this chart it also gave me some other things. After giving me the table, it gave me a diagram explaining the steps of cardiac cycle. You can see the steps of cardiac cycle here: atrial systole, atrial systole, late diastole, atrial contract, blah 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 blah. The bottom line is that it gives me a flow chart of the topic that I'm learning, and not just that it gives me a flow chart, it also gives me MCQs. The default is it gives you 3 MCQs per any request you ask it. But the most important thing to actually take note of is that if you actually want MCQs, more MCQs, you ask it directly, I want more MCQs on cardiac cycle, then it gives you that. You can see it also gives you a YouTube lesson on this same cardiac cycle. Now all of this thing was from one request, so you can see that from one request you can actually get a whole lot. And this video plays right here. It doesn't have to take it to YouTube or anything. It plays right here in the app. So this is MedKing AI, and there's a lot more to it. You can decide to, like I already said, ask it directly for more MCQs. With the MCQs, you can answer the MCQs. Let me choose a random answer. You can see the answer I chose was incorrect. Let me choose another random answer. You can see in this case was also incorrect. It also shows you the correct answer and the explanation to that answer. So this is what it gives you for every request. You can also ask MedKing AI to generate images for you. So generate an image of an image explaining cardiac cycle. So it's going to generate an image for me right now, an image that actually explains cardiac cycle. Sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it takes less than a minute for it to generate. This is actually a detailed image, or let me say a visually impressive image on cardiac cycle. So as it's going, I just want to say a few things. When you click the top right, you see other things like coach mode, teach mode, history. So if I click history, I can access my chart history over here, and then this is my chart history, and then below chart history you see my infographics history. So every infographic that I've generated on the app, I can always access it from my infographic history, and I can also go back to other charts in the past and access it from chart history. So let's see if the infographic is done. The infographic is done. I can see how beautiful it looks. You can see how detailed it looks. It's loading. This is really amazing. This is really amazing. So I can also decide to download this infographic. You can see if I tap it, you see this download button. So that's all. Okay, it has downloaded. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to MedKing Consistency Academy.